Good morning. It is Tuesday. It's Matt and Amelia with you till 11 o'clock. Now, very pleased to welcome my guests onto the show this morning. It's Liz and Samuel from Forward2Employment. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. First of all, Liz, tell us, what is Forward2Employment all about?
Forward2Employment is an organisation that supports young people in Medway and Kent to find employment. So it's young people who have special educational need or a disability.
Fantastic. And how long have you been going?
We've been going since 2018. We started as a pilot scheme in 2018 with just 3 interns, and we've grown every year. And we've got about 37, 38 interns this year.
That's fantastic. And Samuel, you're here with us as well. What's your role in Forward2Employment?
So my role is marketing. So my job is to basically showcase to all the young people the benefits of Forward2Employment, as well as promoting to businesses the fantastic benefits for them.
Which is so important today because we're all on social media. So if you're going to shout about what you do, that's the place to be. So a big job. So this is fantastic because especially in Kent, there are so many young people and a lot of people that have got educational needs and disabilities, and it's difficult to get into work. So this is an intern program for which they will spend a certain amount of time with an employer and hopefully leads on to actually paid work. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. So the program runs across an academic year, so September through to July, and they're with us for a year. They spend 4 days in a workplace and 1 day with us, improving maths, English and work skills.
Incredible. And you've got how many students at the moment out there?
37.
37, which is great. And they're all positioned, are they, in different types of businesses? And what kind of organisations are taking these young people on?
All types of businesses, so small through to your large multinational companies such as Amazon. So we've got people in warehousing, catering, engineering, retail, you name it. Our interns can go pretty much anywhere.
And I imagine, some employers probably love to take people on, but have a little bit of a wobble or a worry thinking it's going to be a strain on the company, or they've got a lack of knowledge as to what they have to do. And that's where you come in to say, well, actually, it's not like that at all.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of confusion around supporting these young people. But actually, it's a lot easier than you think. And probably some of the things that support our young people will support your other employees as well. So there's no cost to the employer. And we, the interns come along with a job coach, and they fully support both the business, the young person and the young person's family as well.
I suppose the business has got nothing to lose then, really, is it? It's not costing them anything. I mean, compared with recruitment costs.
It doesn't cost the business anything. And in fact, it saves money because our young people, if they gain employment, are very loyal and dedicated, and they tend to stay there. So there's not that recurring recruitment cost. They take less time off. The productivity tends to be higher. They're always arrive on time, don't try and sneak off early. They're just really dedicated and just so grateful for the opportunity that they've been given, that they want to showcase the best that they can do.
And you started Forward2Employment back in 2018, is that right?
That's
as well?
Right,
so
yeah.
So you've had COVID in between then and now. How much did that kind of shake up the organisation? Because obviously a lot of offices were shut and there wasn't a lot happening.
Yeah, it was a tough year, yeah. Before COVID, the employment rate for young people with SEN was about 6%. And then after COVID, it fell to about 5%, where it's been kind of bobbing around that figure since. So it's been, a really challenging time. But what we did find was that the employees who kept our young people on, kept our interns on, and kept them going through that COVID period.
That's amazing. So it's slowly going back to how it was, and it's building up a little bit. I suppose it's schemes and programs like you've got here, which is helping with that percentage to get people into work.
Yeah, that's right. It's difficult, but we just need those businesses to give these young people a chance and an opportunity to show what they can do. We call it a year-long working interview. So by the end of the internship, you've got to know that young person inside and out. And it's so much better than a regular interview because you really get to know what they can do and how much they can offer you in your workplace.
And what kind of percentage are we looking at when it comes to somebody doing an intern and then being sort of taken on by the employer? Is it quite high?
It's quite high. It varies each year, but it's usually somewhere between 50 and 60% of our young people go on to gain employment with that business. If they don't gain employment there, then we will support them moving forward to either find a traineeship, an apprenticeship, or they might choose to go back to college. But we don't just say, well, that's your year, you're done, you're gone. We will support them on an ongoing basis.
It's a bit of a win-win situation for everybody then, really, isn't it? Because, as you say, it doesn't cost the business anything, and the young person's getting the skills, and then the employer realises, actually, no recruitment costs, we're going to keep you on because you've done a great job.
That's right.
Yeah, what a fantastic thing. Look, Samuel, Liz, stick around. I'm going to play a song and then we'll come back and chat a little bit more and find out how the scheme works and how, if we know somebody that wants to get onto the scheme, what's the best way to go through that process. I still have my guests on the show. It is Samuel and Liz from Forward2Employment. Thank you for joining us this morning. You've got a fantastic programme of what you do over the last, what is it now, 7 years? The time's flown by, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you started this in 2018, providing internships to young people aged 16 to 25 with educational needs and disabilities. And how long is an internship, by the way?
It's a year-long programme.
It's a year. So they'll do the internship for a year. And that's a really good, solid amount of time for which you pick up skills, isn't it? It's not, you're not just in and out, and shuffling papers around. You're gonna be actually learning a trade when you go into these employments, which is amazing. Which is why over 50% of employers are taking on the interns afterwards as well. Samuel, you're here too. Now you deal with all the social media stuff.
Yes.
What channels is Forward2Employment on?
So we're across quite a few channels. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube.
All of them.
Yeah,
basically.
All of them. But one of the main two that we're focusing on is Instagram and TikTok to try and showcase a lot more educational and informative videos for both young people and businesses.
Okay. So do you go out and film content about the interns in the workplace and things like that as well?
Yep. So we do things like that. And also I end up starring in some of them as well, especially because we can't always get out because we don't want to disturb businesses. So we then will take part in them ourselves. So a recent one we did was about stimming in the workplace and some of the signs of stimming and how actually people may represent stimming as really intrusive and disruptive to the business.
Can you explain what stimming is for anyone that doesn't?
So stimming is where like a regulation type thing. So in order for them to concentrate on a task, they may squeeze a stress ball, may click a pen, may tap their foot. So it's just to help them regulate during the working day.
Okay.
And so we did a video just showcasing some of those and how they're not actually that disruptive and the narrative should be changing on that.
It's a little bit like the classroom, and my daughter is, very much. She needs sort of I don't know what it's called now, but she's got something. It's like a stress ball, but it helps her in class to sort of focus, but she still gets on, and she's succeeding brilliantly with her education. But it's that little sort of thing that just helps her through, and I suppose it doesn't change as you get older and you work in the workplace and things like that.
No, exactly, and that's what we aim to do with our social media is just to educate on how in society it's can be seen as, they're disruptive because they have to behave in this way, and it's not that at all. And so that's why we create these videos, just to try and remove that narrative.
And I suppose these videos are great for the interns themselves to see, but also for anybody else understanding what you do, and for employers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the aim, is to try and educate the broad range of people we work with, both the young people and the businesses, just to showcase everything that we do across Forward2Employment.
And do you find with the employers that obviously if they're taking these young people on and it's working out well, they come back and want to take on any more interns as well?
That's right. So one of the businesses that we work with has been with us from day one, and every year they've taken on interns, and each year they've employed a percentage of those interns. And actually one of our very original interns, Ellie, is still working there, and now when we get new interns, she takes them under the wing and shows them the ropes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it's a program that works effectively, and it's great for the employer as well. I mean, you know, this is what all employees should be doing. They should be looking at programs like this, and, you know, it makes the employer look great as well. I mean, as you say, it's a win-win situation overall.
It is. Yeah, there's no risk to the employer. Doesn't cost them anything. We provide a job coach. We can provide disability awareness training for the immediate team around the young person, or we can disseminate that across the entire workplace. And actually what we find is that the smaller adaptations that we might put in for our interns also help the rest of the employees as well.
So how difficult is it to get onto this program? Do you need to be referred?
You do need to be referred. So it's for young people who've already got an educational healthcare plan. And part of that process would be to name Forward2Employment as your next provision, your next step in your education, and then that's dealt with through the local authority. But if there's anybody who is interested, there is a application form on our website.
What a great opportunity. Absolutely brilliant. And you're doing an absolute grand job, and we're going to be chatting to you regularly here at Made in Kent Radio, because there's different angles and things like that. Hopefully we can get to chat to some of the interns at some point as well and get them on to get some of their experiences, and some of the employers too, to see how this scheme works for them, and how other employers should take a look at what you're doing too. If somebody wants to find out more, what's the best way to do that? Would that be through the website, Sam?
Yeah, so just visit us on www.forward2employment.co.uk. That's a 2, the number.
Yep.
And yeah, there's contact forms and all the information about supported internships, supported employment, and information for businesses as well on there.
Fantastic. Sam and Liz, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and look forward to chatting again, and all the best with Forward2Employment.
Thank you very much.